wanted my
Really?
sindoor and I wanted mehendi and I wanted karwa chauth. I have only dated younger guys,
exactly.
strangely, even when I was 18. Are you going to date that guy? I would say, yeah, this is so good. And I would say, shut up and get away.
Hello and welcome to my new show, In Bed with Shenaz. And today, in my bed, I have a surprise.
Oh, hi!
Hello, Divya Dutta, and welcome
Hello.
to my bed. So welcome to In Bed with Shenaz, where we talk about relationships, sex, dating, and all things romantic.
I love that. Thank you. Shenaz.
Thank you for joining me in my bed. I know it's very intimate, and I'm going to ask you a lot of intimate questions. If you're not comfortable, tell me you're not comfortable.
I shall do that, but I
Okay.
think I'm pretty comfortable.
You're pretty comfortable,
Yes.
and I loved it. And I was like, you know what? She is a strong, independent, single woman, just like me. And if I'm strong and independent too.
Absolutely. How about you?
Yeah, and let's talk about that.
Let's talk
So the
about
first question, so I'm asking questions from my book, which is my
Okay.
love Bible. And the first question I'm going to ask you from this book is being single equal to being desperate? Because I get a lot of comments on my Instagram also still saying, "Arey yaar, close to 40, you should just adopt cats, you're single." But they don't understand it's single by choice.
Yes.
Now let's talk about that. Like, why do people feel that being single equal to being desperate?
Really, I would actually think it the other way around. Because you actually had a clear head and you've decided that, your peace of mind and you, more importantly so, are more important and are prioritized in your life. And it's not about being desperate. I think desperate is when you're seeking something.
Exactly.
When you stop seeking and when you feel, okay, I'm happy within my own self, and if anything has to happen, it has to happen very organically.
Exactly.
I think I'm in that state of
Yeah.
mind. I've never said no to things,
Yeah.
but desperation was never there, even when I was in my datings or if I'm still dating. I think desperation is a wrong word. period.
Exactly,
It doesn't give you
exactly.
the results that you'd ever want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At some point, women go through this phase because I've seen that all my single women are just like, oh my God, I just want to get married. And all my married friends are like, oh my God, I wish I knew what I knew now. I wish I was single.
The grass is always
The
green on the
grass
other
is
side.
always greener. But you know what? I feel as a single woman that I'm very happy in my space. I like living alone. I like sleeping alone. I don't want a snoring guy next to me. I don't want to be woken up. I like my space. And if I have somebody, I like them to have their space. And I feel like that's more romantic. And the romance goes after you start living with someone, after 2 years, them farting in your bed. When they treat you like ghar ki murgi, that's when it starts getting really like, oh my God, this is not working out. What do you feel about that?
I think every age that you go through
Yeah.
has its own thought process.
Correct.
Like when you're 18 or 17 and you ask, okay, who's your, what kind of guy you want? You want your typical Mills and Boone guy.
Yeah,
Where it's a tall,
exactly.
dark, handsome. Then you grow a little more. When I came into the industry, it's like, okay, what kind of guy do I want? I want somebody understanding. So the tall, dark, handsome went out of the window.
So it doesn't have to be tall, dark, handsome, but just understanding.
Handsome, yes. I mean, presentable, yes. But somebody understanding.
Yeah.
So your things keep changing. Yes, I've come to that stage. I agree with you, where I like my space. So even if I'm dating, I was a very typical Karan Johar or Yash Chopra, say, where I wanted my
Really?
sindoor and I wanted mehendi and I wanted
Really?
karwa chauth. I love the concept because I think I come from Punjab, and this was also romanticized.
Yes, it's so romanticized.
So
Exactly.
but gradually I thought I have the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
I don't have to. It's not about sharing. It's about, you're right. I'm now very used to
Yes,
my space.
exactly.
So even if I date somebody right now, I
Yeah.
would say, "Tu apne ghar ja," and I come to my house. It's nice, but then you go home.
But I feel the same way, and people think I'm cruel and mean to say that, but
No.
I just like that space, and I think it's more romantic when you.
If you want to be together, you hire such a nice place.
Oh yeah,
and then
exactly.
You,
You get a hotel. Yeah. Very true. Very true. So Divya, what are your basics? What are the 3 things that you feel that I want this? It's a non-negotiable.
See, one, I think a man should definitely make a woman feel secure. I mean, a woman can be very insecure anyway, so that could be a tall order.
But
the
you
basics,
want to feel secure.
I don't want to feel somebody just nudging me on small things. And in a larger picture, I want that basic security from a guy. Emotional security.
Yeah,
emotional security.
Okay,
Not financial.
Yeah.
Emotional security, surely.
Okay.
And I think when you're working independent women, the rest of the things you can manage.
Exactly.
It's just that you want to know that when you need, there is someone just looking over. That little affection, that little warmth.
Yeah.
And of course, there has to be a compatibility physically as well as mentally. That's very important.
Very important. Wait, you have to choose only 3. So
I said 3.
You said
I gave it
security.
I gave it sub points. 3A, 3B, 3C.
Emotional security, mental compatibility, and
mental and physical compatibility,
physical.
and love, basic warmth, love and affection.
Correct.
I think love then turns into affection.
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
Correct.
You can keep defining it differently, but these 3 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want men. So this is what I feel like in a relationship. In fact, it's one of the chapters in my book also, that you need physical compatibility.
Yes.
You need mental compatibility, and you need emotional compatibility. Like you both.
Absolutely.
So these are the 3 things. But then you also need things like shared values, similar lifestyles. That is also important.
I guess somewhere when those 3 basic things are done, the other things you
Just
kind
fall into
of
space.
fall into place. You give each other that much. You go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I was seeing Taapsee's wedding the other day.
Okay.
I mean, I saw her husband get like ready as a Punjabi Sardar groom. It felt so beautiful.
Oh,
it
that's sweet.
really looked nice. So I think when 2 people love each other, you come around.
Yeah, you come around. But in my experience, with all the 22 chapters I've had,
Yes.
I have never had emotional compatibility, physical compatibility,
together.
and mental, all 3. It's always like, okay, fine. Mentally we connect, emotionally we connect, physical attraction is not there that much, or we don't have great sex. Or we have great sex, but you know what, mental compatibility is not there. One is always missing.
That's why you break up, darling.
Yeah, no, but you can't. Is it possible
You
to
as
get
in all of
3?
us.
Yeah, is it possible to get all 3?
Not in the
I've
measures.
never had all 3.
I feel not in the measures that we all feel it's greener the other side. The grass is greener. But if you talk to your female friends, it's amazing how you kind of connect with your female friends.
Yeah.
And you talk about sex, you talk about their sex lives, you talk about their emotional compatibilities, and you realize there's not as much as you think there is.
Yeah, nobody has it all.
Nobody.
So that's the other thing. Does
yeah.
anybody hit the jackpot in love?
You would for a certain time, but it doesn't last forever. Then after that, it's like you got to adjust. And that's why our, and elders used to say, beta shadi jo hai wo compromise karna padta hai. That compromise hum galat, we take it in a wrong perception ke compromise kyun kare. I think those are little adjustments, those are little tweakings that you do in a relationship.
And you have to do.
There are little letting goes of thinking, okay, I let go of this thing.
Yeah.
I can manage a little not having sex for a week. It's all right. But beyond that, no.
Exactly. Now, at a certain age, you meet guys, especially you meet younger guys. I'm sure you also meet younger guys.
I have only dated younger guys.
Exactly.
Strange. Even when I was 18.
No,
I never dated when I was 18. Even when I was 22, I think was my first date.
Really?
Yeah.
So
it was always young.
really?
I think there's a child in me, and all the guys feel we need to protect her, the little child in her. So yeah, I've never dated an older guy.
Really?
Yeah,
When I was younger, I dated older guys. Now that I'm older, I date younger guys.
Good. That's how it should be. You're right.
The older guys are so cynical, and I like the.
They feel they've done it all and they know it
little
all.
jaded. I mean, you can't generalize, but mostly the guys I've met who are older are like that, and I love the enthusiasm and the excitement of a younger guy.
I actually like to date an older guy.
You would like
for the sake of an experience, maybe.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
You can try it.
I will like to.
Coming back to the question, what is self-love?
Self-love is that you have to prioritize yourself rather than say, we've been conditioned by the parents, by society.
That the man, you know.
No, that women are givers.
Yeah, very true.
So you got to look after the house, and you have to make that extra step to just put things in order. But it's just that sometimes you got to be selfish, and sometimes you have to say no. I mean, there was a time when I felt I used to carry my heart on my sleeve. I was like, all the wrong guys, and my best friend would say, are you going to date that guy? I would say, yeah, this is so good. I would say, shut up and get away. I can't see it. He's a disaster. I'm like, no, but disaster,
you would fix the disaster.
You would have fixed it. Yeah, so she says, you're not here to mend people's lives. But I think something happened to me during COVID. Where I think there was a lot of lone time that you spent with yourself.
Yeah.
And I couldn't deal with it. I was like, but there's no call I'm making to someone. Hi, darling, how are you doing? Nothing.
It was hard. COVID was hard for single people, and also people who were in relationships.
Yeah, but it liberated me in many ways that I started enjoying my company. I wasn't seeking outside. I was, in a very philosophical way, started seeking within. And after
so you had nobody during COVID? No one you were talking to? Nothing?
I would talk to my friends who are guy friends, but not seeking love.
Romantically.
I mean, if something is happening, it's happening organic. There's nothing that I am saying I want emotionally. I want to be with this guy in a relationship. No.
Yeah.
Because I felt I owe this to myself, that I need my emotional peace.
Yeah.
I need somebody who nurtures a relationship, not necessarily me, but a relationship. For him, that relationship has to be important and precious. And you would want to take that extra step to keep it going.
Is infidelity a deal breaker? Like if you find out your boyfriend has had sex with somebody on some holiday in Prague, would you break up with him, or would you be like, okay, let's work through this?
I think it is very, very circumstantial.
Yeah.
In what phase of life you're in, how many years of a relationship you've been with that person.
Yeah.
If it's a fresh one, in in marriages, if it's been 20 years of marriage, and you become more of friends.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would deal with it. For me, actually, infidelity is a no.
Yeah.
I would say.
At this stage?
No, I mean, I don't think I would
say you've been with a guy for 4 years.
No, while answering your question, I feel infidelity is a no-go.
It's a no-go. Are our past lessons a blessing or a curse?
Blessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah? You don't think we get too careful?
We do, but it's a blessing in disguise. If I'm careful, I'm not just carrying my heart on my sleeve as I would earlier.
Yeah.
It is because I'm careful, and I have to be careful for guiding my emotions, but not being very cautious. There's a difference in being shut and being cautious. And it's great to be cautious.
It's good to be. The past lessons are a blessing.
Absolutely.
So Divya, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here in my bed, talking to you about all these intimate things, and I have a gift for you. My love Bible. I wanted you to have my book.
Can't wait to read
All
this.
he left me was a recipe. That's the name of the book.
I think that holds true for so many women, and I'm going to read this. And I also have something for you. This is my book for you.
Lovely.
Since I'm leaving the bed, I don't want to leave you alone.
Thank you. You're leaving my bed. Okay, thank you for leaving me with a book in bed. I have written a book about all the men I've been with. You've written a book about all the directors and producers that you've worked with.
Yes, and actors.
And actors also. Wow, okay. All right. So, Divya's leaving me in bed, but I'm not going to let you go.
Oops.